In this video, we're going to go through our quarterback drills. We will list our warm-ups on the board here, and then we will go out on the field and show them. And then we will go ahead and show some of the drills that we do during our segments or individual time each day. And most of the time, we will try to get through one of these drills at least once a week. When we talk about our warm-up lasts 12 minutes. This can be done while other teams, during usually special teams, when our quarterbacks are not punters or receivers, they will go ahead and get warmed up. You can see our drills are face-to-face, wrong side, right knee, left knee, crossover step. We go both right and left, even though we know that our quarterbacks aren't both-handed. We like to open up our hips, get our hips warmed up so we can go ahead and have correct throwing motion and know that we're loose. And then the last one is wrong foot. So when we are on the run and we are sprinting out, we will go ahead, and it doesn't matter what foot we have first.
All right, we're going to discuss our quarterback warm-up drills here. It takes us about 12 minutes to get our quarterbacks warmed up at the beginning of practice. We usually like to go ahead and have them warm up during a special teams period or right away, so we're ready to go. We have offensive segments usually first, so they're up and ready. The first drill that you can see that they're doing is just face-to-face drill. They're working on their load, their lift, and their release, and they're working on getting their hips opened up. The next drill we're going to do is we're going to do wrong foot or wrong side, and they open up to their non-throwing side, and that forces them to really get their hips up and squared away and ready to go. They still want to work on their lift, they want to work on their release. The next one we're going to do is right knee, and here we're just talking about our upper platform of our throwing motion. We want to definitely work on our load, our lift, and like I said, release before, and this kind of breaks it down so we can adjust a little bit and teach if a kid's getting the ball not high enough. We like a high release so they can throw over people just like everyone else. Go ahead and go left knee. Okay, same thing here. We're looking on up top platform, and we're basically looking at them getting their hips opened up, just getting warmed up. Nothing hard, nothing too fast. We take our time, but we run each one of these about 2 minutes apiece. Now we're going to do crossover. So they're going to come up over on the line over here, on the line, and all they're going to do is work on their 5-step drops, but they want their heel to toe. They're going to go both. They're going to go both left and right. Okay, as they open up, and then they're going to open up, and they're going to work on their 5-step drop. Go. And all they're doing is staying on the line. Go ahead and go back. Sometimes what we like to do is we like to have them go all the way down the hash, the next one. And so that way they can go ahead and get plenty of work all the way into the sideline, all the way into the sideline, all the way into the sideline. Okay? Now they can go ahead and start there. Now, most people like to just work their right side, but we like to open up. Even though we know they're not going to throw to their left side, we want them opening up to their left. So let's go ahead and open up to our left. And it just working their feet. We want their hips and their feet to be open. We want them to be able to be mobile, because as a quarterback, you never know what's going to happen. Okay, guys, now we're going to go to wrong foot. Now we're just standing up. We like to throw our bootlegs and stuff, and that means that you never know when you are going to go ahead and have to throw with, not perfect set. So we definitely have our throwing foot up first, forces us to get our hips opened up again, and it forces us to open up. And this is our quarterback warm-up. Like I said, it takes us about 10-12 minutes. We can do this before practice or right during a special teams segment, so that way our quarterbacks are ready to go when it's offensive team or individual. All right, now we're just going to talk about our 3-step drop. We always like to put them on a yard line, because that way we know what their footwork is about. We want them to open up, and we want their front toe to be on the line, and we want their heel to be on the line. Okay, go. Okay, good. Standing tall. Go. Okay, standing tall. We're going to give you a couple of reps of this. Okay. You notice how their hips are tall and they're standing tall. You know they're in a load position. All right, now we're going to go to our 5-step. We're going to do the same thing. We'll give you a couple of reps of that. Okay, we want his heels, good stand tall in the hips. Same thing. We want a big reach. Step number 1 is a big reach, little crossover, and then our last step we want it shortened because we want him to have balance to be able to open up and throw. We'll do one more here. Okay. All right, this is called our wall drill. And it's exactly what it says, and that is we're going to put our ball up against the wall. What we want is we're practicing how high we can get our ball with a great release. You'll notice that he's about 4 or 5 inches from the wall with his feet. The ball is going to be up above his head, and you notice the point is on the wall. So what he's going to do is he's going to leave it up there, and he's just going to follow through, and he's just going to throw it. Okay, and what we want is lift here. We want plenty of lift. Okay. And all we're doing is working on the height of the ball. This is something that we like to do in the spring because lots of times when we throw, we end up having to bring the ball down by our shoulder pads, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep that ball up there, and we want to keep it high, and we want to keep it on release. Okay? After about 5 throws, the next person's going to go. Okay? And then look at how he looks, see where he wants to place the ball. And that way, it gets to be a normal height for our quarterback. They're going to bring it right off the wall and follow down through. The one thing that you want to be careful of is you're working on height here, so we can work on feet a little bit and work on the offhand a little bit, but we're concentrating on our height. We don't want to get all these other things confused with what the drill is about. All right, this is called our goalpost drill, and what we want is we want a high release, but lots of times with quarterbacks, when they high release, they leave their arm out there and they don't follow all the way through. We still want to follow through all the way down. Usually what ends up happening is that they want to just leave their arm hanging. Now you'll notice that it's pretty simple that we've got them in the middle, and we want a little more lift now. We're going to start going a little bit higher. We want to, because towards the end we'll be towards the top of the goalpost. Okay, so they're getting it a little bit higher all the time. You'll notice how they're moving because now their target shrinks. Okay, they want them high. We should be towards the end of this. Now it's getting to be pretty challenging because they are moving and there's not much room for that ball to go through. Okay, now towards the end here we're going to get a big lift on it, and it's going to be towards the top of the goalpost. It's going to be top of the goalpost. Okay, there we go. Follow all the way through. Okay, so they're kissing right at the top of the goalpost is their perfect shot. The next drill we're going to run is called the 4-corner drill. What we do is we have our quarterback in the middle. He's going to open up and get to the middle. Okay, and then the coach is going to point, and then he's going to move in which way that the coach is going to point. Okay, you'll notice that when he's moving back, he's going to move the back one first, and then he's going to end up back into the middle, and usually he's chopping his feet, and we'd have a receiver for him to throw to. Okay, if we look at our next quarterback here, once again he's going to open up, boom, get to the middle, wait for the coach to give him a signal. He's moving, he's shuffling back to the middle. You'll notice how he's going to come back to the middle each time, and then we're going to go ahead and redirect him. All we're doing is getting his footwork where it needs to be and setting him back into the middle, and that's good. Okay, so the coach would go ahead and do that 3 or 4 times. We add a receiver in or a backup quarterback that's not in the drill. We would usually have them go ahead and throw the ball to. Here we go. This is our sprint out drill that we use. We like to run boots and stuff, so obviously we want to get out of the pocket and throw on the run. We don't want to have to set up every time. So here's our sprint out drill. Okay, he's going to open up. He's going to get depth of the cone. As he comes forward, he wants to be able to throw, and then he's going to follow the football. You'll notice that the receiver is going to come in. He's another quarterback, and he's going to take his turn. Okay, we're going to open, get depth of the cone. As he comes around, he's going to throw. The big key here is we want to follow our path, so that way we can go ahead and throw and deliver it and get our feet where they need to be, step on our target, start working downhill, and start throwing. Okay? Cody? Okay. The next drill we're going to do is called the target drill. He's going to take a short 3-step drop. You'll notice that Devin's going to throw his hands up in the spot that he wants it. Now it's Devin's turn. He's going to take it, and Gordy's going to give him a target. Okay, that's why this is called target drill. They're going to give him something a little bit different, and so they have to hit it. So it's not just throwing it to the man, it's throwing it exactly to where they want to move it. Okay, so the key here is just not throwing it, but throwing and hitting the target. We don't want the guy catching the ball to move his hands very far. This is simply called our circle drill, which everybody runs, and one quarterback is throwing to his right and the other one has to open up and throw to his left. We'll go both ways. Okay, this is, we want our hips squared around, we want to get our load, and we got our lift in, and because we do run a lot of boots and we like to run a sprint out, our quarterbacks have to learn how to run and get their feet underneath of them and throw. This is called our duck drill, and what he's going to do is he's going to open up. The coach is going to point, and what they're going to do is they're going to dip their shoulder and go which way that the coach tells them to go. Okay, and it's simply trying to go ahead and get away from any contact, get away from any tackles or defensive end that's coming up. You notice that when he comes to his left, he's really got to dip and get underneath that. When he goes to his right, he's dipping that shoulder to bypass him. The next drill we're going to do is called the Karate Kid drill, and it's basically like the movie The Karate Kid, and what we're focusing on is the balance of the quarterback. We don't want them falling one side or the other. Go. Okay, he's going to lift his knee up high, and he's going to have his balance. We understand that we got to have balance. The higher we can get our knee, the better off we're going to be, and what we want to be able to do is press them a little bit for their balance, because we want our quarterbacks to be able to have great balance when they're coming and throwing. These are our quarterback drills. You know, if your quarterback has a specific issue that he needs to be fixed, it might not be the drills for you, and you might have to go somewhere else and tailor it. But this is a lot of the drills that we run for our high school and our middle school kids, and we like to repeat them over and over again so our quarterbacks get really good at the drills, and then we start adding in different ones all the time. So I hope this helps you, and if you need any help with anything, just go ahead and give me a call or text me.